This is Monkey World in Dorset, the largest ape and monkey rescue centre on the planet. Today on Monkey Life, animal manager Jeremy is under attack.
Not the aerial assault, no!
He's in Paris collecting Lingga, an orphaned orangutan who needs to be with her own kind.
You have got too much energy and you're too ugly and we don't want you. We've changed our mind, you're not coming home with us.
In Paddy's chimp group, all hell breaks loose over a big fruity freeze. And Alison says her goodbyes to Julio, the woolly monkey she hand-reared from birth.
I'll see you later. You be good. You be good.
Over the past 21 years, Monkey World has rescued and rehabilitated 185 primates. 10 of these have been orangutans. Today, animal manager Jeremy is in Paris to meet number 11. Baby female orangutan Lingga at the Menagerie du Jardin des Plantes. Lingga was rejected by her mum at birth and raised by the keepers. They were unable to integrate her with the zoo's older orangs, and now everybody hopes she'll find a home in Monkey World's orangutan crèche. Jeremy's first job of the day is to introduce himself to Lingga.
On the premise that the best way to an animal's heart is through his stomach, like a man, this is going to be the way of getting to know Lingga, and Lingga getting to know me if I feed her, which is all good. Hello, Rab Egg. I've got your tea here. Goodness me, what do you fancy? Eh? Is that good? Is that what you wanted? But reading between the lines a little bit, she's obviously a professional eater. But we can use that to our advantage. What are you doing? What are you like? You're not exactly shy, are you? Are you good? You're a very pretty little girl, aren't you? Yes, you are. Now, it's good to see that she is obviously quite precocious, quite forward, not shy, not intimidated. It's just nice that she's been brought up that way. And also she can see the other orangs next door to her. So clearly she knows what an orang is. And she probably knows she is one.
All primates have different personalities, and getting to know them can be a challenge. 2 years ago, Monkey World headkeeper Lee collected baby Aris from Germany. Aris was brought up with gorillas, and Lee found a confident and outgoing orang waiting for him. Last year, keeper Mike brought Jolie back from Moscow Zoo, but she was very shy, and it took him several days to gain her trust.
Have you packed your bags yet?
Later, we see how Lingga reacts when Jeremy takes the next step and goes into her enclosure. And at Monkey World, Alison gives last goodbyes to the woolly monkey she hand-reared from birth. Monkey World Ape Rescue Centre is home to 59 chimps, the largest natural living collection outside Africa. All the chimpanzees have been successfully grouped into troops. The largest is Paddy's family of 19. Chimps are intelligent and inquisitive. The park staff work hard to keep them occupied, and today they're providing an unusual challenge: a giant ice lolly. And here's Paddy, the head of the troop and the first on the scene. The giant lolly is the perfect way to cool down on a hot summer's day. By providing them with just one treat, the keepers hope the troop will work together as a team. This should keep them occupied for hours. But 27-year-old Clin has other ideas. She wants the ice to herself, but the troop isn't going to let her get away with that. The ice is filled with different fruits, and smart Cindy has found a stick to dislodge the tasty bits. In the wild, chimps use a variety of tools to help them extract food, including twigs and straw blades to help search for termites and stones to crack open nuts. Back at the park, Clin's not happy at having to share, and chimps being chimps, it's not long before a scuffle breaks out. And there goes Clin with the ice again. Clin had a traumatic start in life. She was a laboratory chimp, which meant restricted meals. Now she hoards her food. The group are happy to let her do this at mealtimes, but with just one treat on offer, no chance. And later, Clin's not the only one having trouble sharing. Little Eddie really wants this fruit lolly, but will she be able to keep it to herself? The chimpanzees are one of 15 different species living at the park. These include lemurs, gibbons, capuchins, and woolly monkeys. Julio is the youngest of the woolly monkeys. Park director Alison is very close to him.
He's just a superstar. He loves playing with, pushing out of the way, grabbing food from whether it's the dominant male, any of the dominant females. He still likes seeing the old girl Susie. And he's just a playful, lovely little lad that they all love.
Julio's mum, Kuna, rejected him at birth. For his own safety, he had to be taken away.
Get in there, get in. Hey! Is the baby okay, Alison?
I believe so. We've got toes, fingers. I don't see any blood.
Alison took on the mighty challenge of bringing him up. He's only the second woolly monkey in the world to survive being hand-reared.
Good girl.
As he grew up, he began to interact with other woolly monkeys. And now, Julio is 18 months old and looking good.
For me, I mean, I'm just really pleased, but this is probably going to be one of the very last times that I'm able to sort of come in and see Julio and give him a little bit of a hug and a check as much as I am right now, because he's growing up, and this was our goal in the first instance, was to get him back into the family group of woolly monkeys and fully functioning so that he can have his own family one day. And, you know, job well done, I guess, because he's quite a nice little lad, even though you do suck your thumb still, I know.
But as Julio enters adolescence, he's changing.
His head's gonna change a lot, so over his eyebrow ridge, like LeVar, the dominant male, he'll get much broader on the head. His shoulders will fill out. The base of his tail will become much thickened. Also, of course, the huge canines that just make what is a very excitable, high-strung, temperamental species downright dangerous as they become fully matured and fully armed.
The woolly monkeys are part of a global endangered species breeding program, and every new baby is important. So the whole team are excited that Julio's mum, Kuna, is pregnant again, but they're also worried. She might reject the new baby just as she did Julio.
What we want is for the baby to grow up with its mother, with Kuna, so we're hoping that she's grown up a bit more and that she'll do a better job than she did with Julio the first time around, so. Hopeful, but wary.
Back in Paris, baby orangutan Lingga is meeting animal manager Jeremy, and he's gone into her enclosure.
She's better when I'm sat on the floor.
Jeremy sits down in an attempt to make Lingga feel more comfortable.
You coming over here? Hello.
But the food is much more attractive than Jeremy.
Okay. Of course, she's got to learn a whole new routine of living with other animals. She's got to learn to share, but The way she knocks back her food in 2 minutes, not having any competition, would suggest that that won't be too hard. Orangs are not renowned for being overly active, but she's a very active young lady. Probably make her more of a nightmare to look after because she's always into things that she shouldn't be. But that's all okay.
So far, Jeremy and Lingga have got along well, but he's kept his distance. Gaining an orang's trust comes in stages. Will she let him make physical contact?
What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you bad? You a bad girl? You a bad influence? I suspect so. I suspect you'd be a real bad influence on our people. I don't know why we should inflict you on them. If you don't get pushy, you know, she's now offering herself for a tickle here, so I'm taking up the offer and it's all good. You know, whereas if you wade in gung-ho to start with, it'll only go badly. Whereas if she's just come and been quite comfortable in my presence, now she thinks that's fun. And I know some of these places which makes all eggs fall apart when you touch them. There's one. Particularly around there. Particularly around there.
Coming up, Jeremy gets more than he bargained for.
You don't know any other games, do you? All you know is fighting silly games.
The orangutans get some exercise climbing for melons, and Eddie becomes the most popular chimp in Paddy's group, at least while her ice lolly lasts. In Paris, Monkey World animal manager Jeremy is getting to know baby orangutan Lingga. She's being transferred to Monkey World's orangutan crèche, and she's much livelier than Jeremy expected.
Not the aerial assault, no, no. That is not fair. It's just not fair.
Lingga is very taken with Jeremy and loves their play session.
Change my mind, you're not coming home with me anymore.
And she can give as good as she gets.
I'm getting bored with this game. You don't know any other games, do you? All you know is fighting silly games. You have got too much energy and you're too ugly and we don't want you. We've changed our minds, you're not coming home with us. He's the roughy, tufty, horrible, smelly, rotten monkey. Changed my mind, she's too rough, we're gonna leave her. She's too horrible. See you later, when I've cancelled your ticket. Yes. You darling?
Jeremy's happy. They're going to transfer Lingga to Monkey World in the morning.
Yeah, just spent half, three-quarters of an hour with Lingga and had the living daylights knocked out of me. But it's really good that she's not focused like an animal that's been hand-reared by, say, one person with no proximity to others of their species, because she's, you know, she's very outgoing, she's very forward, and a hand-reared animal will really focus on one person and get sort of imprinted, and she's not like that at all. They've really brought her up well with many people being involved, so she doesn't get too fixed on one person. So I'm really happy, and I'm sure it'll be a lot nicer for her, the whole move, you know, for a new life at Monkey World. 4 o'clock tomorrow morning, we'll start the journey home. I want to make a good early start tomorrow, much to the horror of the local people who are going to help me put her in the van. But then, you know, the earlier we can leave here, then the earlier we'll get back to Monkey World and more of the day she has to settle in.
Lingga's keepers will join her on the trip. This will make her feel more secure, and they can see that she settles well. They've looked after her for 2 years, but they know it's the best thing for her.
Lingga a été élevée à la main par nos soins, et c'est devenu une petite guenon tout à fait indépendante, très joueuse, très active, prête à intégrer un nouveau groupe le plus tôt possible. Donc on est tous évidemment très tristes de la voir partir, mais très optimistes quant à son futur avenir au Monkey World avec ses petits congénères.
Later, how will Lingga cope with the early start as she begins her journey to Monkey World?
Twist her arm, you know, OK, I'll have an early breakfast. As long as I don't have to get out of bed.
And can little Eddie still get whatever she wants from her dad, Paddy? Eventually, Lingga will join the park's 13 orangutans that are split into 3 groups. One of these is headed by male Tuan. He's lucky enough to have 4 girls in his group. Today they're having a treat, sweet-tasting melons. Amy loves her food. And she'll stop at nothing to get it. Xiaolan ranks below her in the pecking order and is smart enough to give up her prize. In captivity, female orangutans develop a hierarchy relating to age and size. Amy takes full advantage of her top position. In the wild, orangs forage for leaves and fruit in the forest canopy, so the keepers have placed the melons high up to encourage them to replicate their natural feeding behaviour. "21-year-old Tuan wants some melon. Unfortunately for Roro, he wants her melon. But she's not handing it over without a fight. Orangutans naturally move slowly, but for them, this is a full-on punch-up. Roro's only half Tuan's size, so there's only ever going to be one winner. In the wild, orangutans spend much of their day feeding, and fruit makes up about 60% of their diet. After making her way through nearly 2 whole watermelons, even Amy's full. So Roro finally gets a melon to herself. But she's going to have to be quick. Tuan's back again. Poor Roro knows she's no match for him, and she backs off. Again. On the other side of the park, Paddy's troop are enjoying their giant ice lolly. But like the orangs, the chimps aren't always good at sharing. Youngster Eddie hasn't had any of the lolly. And prankster Gamba decides Eddie's just one mouth too many. Drastic measures are called for, and after eyeing up her options, it's Dad Paddy she targets. She may well be the boss's daughter, but she can't always get her own way. As a baby, it was a different story. She could have whatever she liked from her dad and stopped at nothing to get it. Today, Eddie's struggling to get her hands on any of the treat, but she's not about to give up. And finally, her persistence pays off. But she's about to get a taste of her own medicine. Suddenly, she's the most popular chimp in the park. It's 4 o'clock in the morning in Paris, and Jeremy is getting Lingga ready for her journey to Britain.
Right. There we go, a bit warmer. Having an early breakfast, so she doesn't seem to object to too much. Twist her arm, you know, okay, I'll have an early breakfast. As long as I don't have to get out of bed. Of course, the sooner we set off, the sooner we get home, the sooner we can settle her in back at Monkey World. It's quite a long day we've got in front of us.
Jeremy arrived in Paris less than 24 hours ago, but he and Lingga formed an instant bond.
Very pretty little girl, aren't you? Yes, you are.
After an early breakfast, it's time for the team to get moving.
Right, we'll go now, yeah? The sooner we go, the better, and then she can start settling down.
And her keepers are travelling with her to make her trip as comfortable as possible. Britain is 10 hours away, but when she finally arrives in Monkey World, Lingga will be in safe hands. Monkey World is the European crèche for orphaned orangutan babies. It's currently home to 4 toddlers cared for by foster mum Ame. Everybody hopes that Lingga's outgoing nature will help her settle in around the likes of Aris and the gang. Next time, little Lingga's confidence deserts her as she takes her first steps on British soil.
Come on then, let's go. Come on, Lingga. Good girl.
An operation on chimp Brian's teeth reveals the damage caused from his traumatic past life.
That looks like dead old tooth to me. It's the wrong colour, which indicates it's probably dead. It's moving, which it shouldn't do. It has to go. So I may as well get on with it while the X-ray is being developed.
And stump-tailed macaque Coco gets a helping hand.
It's quite simple, really. You know, why walk when you can have a ride?